Hi everyone, my name's Daryl. So this week's video is about the infamous bell housing issue that has plagued the GT-R since its inception. The bell housing issue basically is caused by the separation between the engine and the transmission. So the engine, of course, is in the front, the transmission is in the back, and it's joined together through the bell housing, which is at the back of the engine. Because the engine and transmission is separated, vibrations in the engine or the constant pushing and pulling, which could be caused by launching, extreme acceleration and deceleration, causes a strain. And the strain between the engine and the transmission is the bell housing. Over time, the bearings in the shaft that live within the bell housing become loose and move freely and start to rattle up against the inside of the bell housing, which causes that crazy noise. The bell housing can be covered by the Nissan warranty, but only if the bell housing is outside of specific tolerances. So I think it's 1.5 millimeters of play between the drive shaft and the bell housing is what Nissan looks for. Anything that is underneath that, Nissan won't cover. So if you take your GT-R into the Nissan dealer and want to get the bell housing replaced, it's going to cost you about $2,500 for the part, and they're going to charge you $5,000 for the labor, as they will want to pull the engine and pull the transmission, which is part of Nissan's labor guidelines. So really, your best bet is to get a rebuilt and redesigned bell housing and have a performance shop install it for you. Now, I've got a 2012 Nissan GT-R, and it's got over 125,000 miles on it, and yeah, I still don't have a bell housing rattle. If you have a modded GT-R with more horsepower and torque, or if you track it or launch it a lot, it's more likely that your bell housing will fail, because any sort of shock to the drivetrain will impact the bell housing. If you are in the market for a used GT-R, this is definitely something for you to check for. Now, I always recommend taking a potential GT-R purchase to a Nissan dealership for a PPI, a pre-purchase inspection, as the dealer can get underneath the car and can check the tolerances between the drive shaft and the bell housing to make sure it's within tolerance and that there isn't any sort of extra play. So it is pretty easy to check for the bell housing issue yourself. Basically, just have the car on and have it idling. And what you're gonna wanna do is get underneath the car just a little bit, just kind of get down here, okay? And I'm gonna put my mic down here so you can really hear it. Okay, so you should be able to hear that pretty good. Basically, you're looking for that plate rattling kind of a sound. And yeah, so let me play what you don't wanna hear. Yeah, and so that's definitely what you don't want to hear. In my next video, I'll be interviewing Wes Hawkins, owner of Highline Auto Care. Wes, he's quite the expert when it comes to bell housings, as he redesigned the original GT-R bell housing to be both quiet and reliable. In fact, he redesigned the bell housing from his original design, and now it supports over 1,600 horsepower. I can't wait to talk to Wes, as I'm probably going to be needing a bell housing soon, and I'm just really interested in what they've done to improve the bell housing design. And yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. If you got some value in this video, please like it. The more likes my videos get, the more likely it is to send this content out to other GT-R owners. And also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the upcoming content, like the one I have with Wes Hawkins. And I hope to see you in that one very soon.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.